Good evening. What a year it's been. Less than a week to go until the clock strikes midnight in Australia and the world welcomes in 2022. Tonight we're taking a look back at the year that was in this 2021 In Review special, from the US Capitol riot in January to Prince Philip's death in April and all the lockdowns in between. We'll show you how we covered it. So let's begin by taking a look at the countdown into 2021, right as the New South Wales Northern Beaches outbreak was at its height.
New rules are set to come into place across New South Wales.
The latest COVID-19 development in New South Wales has seen 7 new cases emerge in a Barala cluster.
If you're anywhere in the Sydney cricket ground with poor airflow and you think you can take off your mask for a moment, please don't.
Welcome to this special edition of 6 News on a day of chaos in the United States, with armed Trump supporters storming the Capitol building in Washington, D.C.
The president's a goddamn lunatic. And that's it.
Q tells us stuff in all of its lies, is what I'm saying.
You keep interrupting me.
Because you're lying! Because you're full of shit! You said he was the Messiah! You said he was invincible! You said it was all over! They were all going to get vote!
Joe Biden is the 46th President of the United States of America.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Sadly, this is my last night as Chief Reporter. Thank you for this opportunity and thank you for watching.
February 1, 2021, tanks rolled into the Capitol to overwhelm a democratically elected government and seize control of the nation.
Australians woke up this morning to find they couldn't view or share news content on Facebook.
A lot of people really shocked about this announcement.
Brittany Higgins was 24 years old and just weeks into her dream job as a media advisor to Defence Minister Linda Reynolds, when, after a night out with friends and colleagues in 2019, she was invited to Parliament House by a senior male staffer.
And he was sweaty. I couldn't get him off of me. At this point I started crying.
Was there sexual intercourse going on?
Yeah, I woke up mid-rape, essentially.
Properties and lives have been ruined, with many regions only just recovering from the Black Summer bushfires, while some small businesses had barely made it through COVID.
What we still have to be aware of is the fact that thousands and thousands of people are still on evacuation warnings, that the rivers will continue to swell.
The situation is far from over.
Good evening, I'm Leonardo Puglisi in the 6 Newsroom. We have breaking news for you. Buckingham Palace has just announced the death of the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, at the age of 99.
We want the economy to be stronger after COVID-19 than it was before COVID-19.
In the face of a once-in-a-century pandemic, the Australian spirit has shone through.
My vision of a perfect or an ideal Palestine is a place where everyone can live together side by side. And by everyone, I mean, Palestinians and Israelis, Muslims, Jews and Christians.
Oh, Biden's a Marxist. Oh, he's a communist. Oh, he's a commie. Oh, Trotskyism and all that. Look, if we're going to play the game of is he a communist or a conservative, he's closer to conservative, but I'd call him more of a moderate Republican.
The ABC's Four Corners had been planning to air a story last Monday night. The topic's reportedly around the Prime Minister and his wife Jenny Morrison's alleged friendship with a QAnon proponent.
I find it deeply offensive that there would be any suggestion that I would have any involvement or support for such a dangerous organisation. I clearly do not.
The mice plague spreading across New South Wales has caused hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage to our farmers over the past couple of months.
Just who assassinated Haitian President Jovenel Moïse, and why remain murky questions 72 hours after his death.
The ACT will enter into a 7-day lockdown.
YouTube has unsuspended 6 News Australia just 7 hours after suspending us for something we didn't do.
Just chaos. I think it's one of those things that I described it to some friends the other day, something that human beings should not see, let alone be a part of.
Today the world stood still as it did 2 decades ago, this time not in horror, but in sombre reflection. This was a scene of what some are describing as almost a riot, violent confrontations with police and protesters.
Finally, lockdowns are over in New South Wales, Victoria and the ACT.
Australia currently, make no mistake, is a tyrannical police state. So when do we deploy?
The U.S. Federal Appeals Court froze President Biden's vaccine rule for companies.
In the early hours of this morning, the Western Australian Police Force rescued Cleo Smith.
My name is Cleo.
We've only known about it for about a week, but Omicron is being detected worldwide. A significant wind event reportedly causing a jumping castle to lift into the air.
He didn't look like my baby, but I know he's in heaven.
Well, there you go, from the highs to the lows. That was 2021. Now, if you're wanting to escape the year as fast as possible, don't worry, 6 News will have live coverage on New Year's Eve. That's this Friday from around 11 p.m. Eastern Time on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe and click all notifications so you don't miss it. It has been a pleasure bringing the news to you throughout the year, and I can't wait to continue doing so next year. I will be back for mornings this Thursday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. For now, though, I'm Leonardo Puglisi. Have a great night and a safe and happy New Year.